Many GM vehicles have gauges that do not work. As you can see from this video, the tachometer is not working correctly. Set the parking brake and turn the key to run and shift to low gear to give yourself room to remove the bezel and gauge cluster. Remove bezel with panel tool. It will just pop out of the fasteners. The gauge itself is held on with 4 7mm screws. They can be removed with a socket, with an extension, or with a nut driver. Once the screws are removed, you can tilt the gauge cluster out of the opening and then tilting on its side, you can get to the connection to remove the wires. Some gauges have the wires on the top. Squeeze the connectors together to release them from the gauges. Release the clips in order to remove the front and back panels from the gauge panel. Make sure the dials on all the gauges are to their full counterclockwise lock position. Mark the locations of the dials with a piece of scotch tape. This will allow you to return the dials to the correct position once you have replaced the stepper motor. Use a fork with a piece of tape on the back to prod the dial from the gauge cluster. Next, remove the solder from the stepper motor pins. You should use a soldering gun that is made for electronics. In this video, you will see that a soldering wick is used to remove the solder from the pins. Straighten the pin so that it makes it easier to remove. Motors can only go in one way since there's a large pin and a small pin.
And they do key, big key, little key.
You can now solder all of the new stepper motors into your circuit board. You can now reattach the dials and line them back up with the marks that you made before you took it apart. You may have to turn the dials all the way to the right to get them to line up on the shaft so that you can reorientate them through the lines that you previously made. Snap the front and back panels together. And then your cluster is ready to go back into your vehicle. All of the gauges are now working.